Okay, Pat, it tells me it's live. So we are live, definitely. How are you?
It feels like I'm live.
so, so welcome everyone to the present show, actually. So Lele and Pat here today. So the cool thing about being live today is that we have the opportunity to share some good stuff about mindfulness as such. So it's me and Pat. We have no whatsoever guest. Next guest is gonna be next week, and this is very important because then it's time to go and talk about mindfulness. So Pat, uh, take us through the main actually the basic mindfulness training that IBMers can have. So, and if you're an IBMer, you would like to know, there is, we will share with you as well the additional link, but you will find in the mindfulness IBM community. So what is the basic mindfulness learning so that everybody can access for free and just on the internal webpage?
So it's a program part of IBM Leadership Academy, and you can access it through your learning platform. And basically, it dives into what the essence of mindfulness is, as well as what you should know about it, what you can do with it, and some like additional resources.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, IBM has decided that, and I worked on some of this material myself. I remember last
So
year.
you made it as well. So you provided some of the information.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
It talks about, to begin, the essence, right? What is mindfulness, and what is mindful leadership? So to all of our users, I'll just quote, I guess, what it says. Mindfulness means focusing on the present moment, paying attention with openness and curiosity. It means acknowledging and accepting feelings, thoughts, sensations, both good and bad, without judgment. For example, your inbox is spilling over. With mindfulness, you accept the fact that you have lots of emails without judging it. It just is. That's called mindful acceptance. And there's a really nice quote from Janice Martirano, the founder of the Institute of Mindful Leadership. And she basically said that we can become so distracted at the expense of what's important and so preoccupied with yesterday and tomorrow that we no longer excel in leading in the present moment. And Lele, let me ask you this question. When can you lead? When is the only time you can lead? Can you lead in the past or in the future?
Actually, unfortunately not. We can just lead in the present, right?
Exactly. So that's basically the essence of mindfulness, right? Leading in the present moment.
At the end, if
Not,
you lead in the future, how can you do that? Right? Think about how is it possible we are leading in the future? It's not possible. Like, just if you think about it, also about the past, you can lead from the past maybe with your words or what you do, but you still do these things in the present.
right.
So, and in the present, actually, that's when I noticed, when you are a leader, you have several situations where you need to take decision, you need to know what to do in that particular moment. And if you're not mindful there, if you think about other stuff, then it's hard for you to come to take the right decision, right? So that's and stress, probably. I hear a lot also in this document. I hear a lot stress. There is a lot of words related to stress, and that's probably one of the first thing that we recognize, that nowadays it's the leading factor to bad decision and bad actions is stress.
Right. I mean, it has profoundly negative effects on not only like your work, but your yourself, right? Your body. They've done plenty of research showing that stressed cells
Mm-hmm.
in our body are extremely dangerous. And you always hear about that, the number one killer being stress.
Yeah.
So the more you're stressed, the the less likely you're, to succeed in anything, in your own health, let alone leadership or managing work project.
So and is this also the depression? Here is saying, like, studies have shown that mindfulness can lessen depression and anxiety, right? and it can help practitioner to gain more or positive outlook by activating parts of the brain associated with happiness. So, like to say that mindfulness helps the to feeling even more happy at the same time, because you realize the very good things that are happening around you. So
Right.
that's cool.
I mean, all happiness is accepting the current moment as it is. Right. I mean, if you go and witness a beautiful sunset, and you're standing there, right, with your family, with your kids, everyone's happy, right, Lele? And you're looking at the sunset, and you're just accepting the moment, right? You're happy.
Yeah.
You're not thinking, oh, if the sun was 5 meters to the right, then I would be happy. The reason we're not happy is we keep thinking something's missing.
Yeah.
Right. I need this certification. I need more money. I made that mistake in the past, and we're constantly thinking about what's missing in this current moment. But in reality, this is all that we have, this present. And the more we learn how to jump into that present, the more happiness we can reap from it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think the fact that you are present in that moment and you're happy is also the fact that you start seeing with different eyes the thing that you've been seeing normally. And for different eyes, I mean, you still realize the things like you normally see. You see a sunset, oh, okay. But in the moment when you turn on all the other senses, you feel a bit more of that thing. You somehow stop the time and you process in a different way. I don't know if it's a particular feeling, like the moment where I experience something and I remember to be mindful, I experience it even more fully. And that's I don't know if it happens to you as well.
It does. The number one thing people regret is like being stressed in their life. And if you think about it, the research is saying that we spend 80% of our, day in habit and thought and kind of running on autopilot with a lot of things. So we spend most of our life not living in the present moment, not experience it, like you're saying, fully with all your senses and taking it all in. So most of our life is in our head. And can you imagine, living 80 years and most of that is just in your mind? I mean, you didn't live, you didn't experience reality. And I think because we have all these senses, it's our right in order to experience it fully, right? Embrace it as much as you can.
I like this the area about the 10 mindfulness habits that will make you more productive at work. Number 1, be present. Number 2, befriend stress. What do you mean befriend stress? You that you are the native.
It means a lot of times we try to fight, right?
Okay.
Fight.
So
it's
be
dangerous.
Friend of the stress in this. Okay.
Yeah. So when stress happens, don't be like, oh, this needs to go away. I need to do everything to stop it. I'm afraid of it. Be like, welcome stress. Thanks for being in my life, right? I appreciate it. You're here to teach me something. Cool. Let's walk side by side.
So let's be all friends with our stress. Use short mindful exercise. Now, as we always share in the present show. Be grateful. Use a lot of thank you, smiles, and so on. Focus on one task at a time. I think it might sound even ridiculous to somebody, like, how come one task at a time and then I'm not working, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still looking for somebody to comment below if you're able to do 2 things at the same time with the same good quality as if you instead do only one in this moment. And comment, and we will invite you to the present show. We welcome multitasker because we want to challenge them to and also learn some secrets about multitasking. Cultivate humility.
Yeah.
Use reminders to keep you present in the moment. What are your favorite reminders, Pat?
The breath. When I'm like starting a new activity, opening the door, drinking water, something that kind of like that transitioning moment from one to another. I try to like begin each thing mindfully. Then I'll get lost in thought and then I'll transition back,
Accept what you can't change. It's it's number 7. No, number 8. Number 9 is slow down,
Right.
which can actually help you speed up. What does it mean?
I actually wrote an article about that on the IBM jobs blog called "Slowing Down to like Speed Things Up." Basically, if you become more proactive or productive because of mindfulness, you'll be able to, speed up on the work, get more things done because you're aware of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to take time to slow down, right? To breathe, to refocus, to be mindful. You do that, right? If you say you invest 30 minutes every day, all aspects of your life will speed up and improve.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to accomplish more, so to say.
So that is similar to the agile concept of the funnel, right? So the less thing you put into your table, the easier you can then do them all instead of, and you do them all instead of when you have a lot and you don't even do the ones that you are supposed to do because you try to do too much. Cool.
Exactly.
And then last one that is actually one of the most important is avoid judging. Judgment is very, very harmful sometimes.
Right. It's something that we can't really, I guess, get rid of because it's so innate, so evolutionary in us, right? We see something that's dangerous, then we start judging it, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that we've been so hijacked by the media that we start, judging things before getting to know them. So I think it's less about, getting rid of judgment, but more about becoming aware each time you're judging and trying to limit the time you're in judgment.
Mm-hmm. And it's very interesting the point then about the taking a mindful minute. Now soon we are gonna have a mindful minute, but it's interesting what is written here. It's written, that there are 1,440 minutes every day, right? So can you spare just one of these for 1,440 to do a daily practice for mindfulness? And you still have 1,435 available if you do 5 minutes instead, but still there are a lot, right? So if you do practice mindfulness at least every day or even 5 minutes a day is not so much because you still have a lot of minutes for doing all the rest, and you can do this anytime and anywhere. So which one we do? But
yeah, game of 5.
We do get game of 5. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so with the game of 5, notice 5 things in your day that you don't typically notice. So you can start using all your senses, right? Look around wherever you're sitting right now, at work, in the car, at home, and maybe listen more closely. Maybe you hear something you haven't heard before, the squeaking floor, smell something. Maybe there's flowers or a certain scent. Feel something. Maybe notice how you're feeling in different moments. And especially when you're upset or getting stressed, right? Just take the time to step outside of yourself, your comfort zone, and just notice your surroundings. So the game of 5 is use 5 senses, jump from one to one, and try to notice something that you haven't noticed before.
And this is basically in the morning I come and sit down on my chair, on my desk. I can just sense the touch to the chair, and that's one of the 5, right? It can be something like this. And then, I don't know, I walk to lunch and I taste something, and that's the second one. So is it like throughout the whole day or in 1 minute? How would you do it?
Start with 1 minute. See how it feels, see the results, and then I guarantee you'll start doing it.
So we can do the game
often.
of 50 throughout the day at one point, right? And keep counting about anything that in particular we notice. And how this connected with mindfulness practice? Since we did a lot of breathing, a lot of body scan and so on, how instead just noticing something particular around us can help us with the mindful practice?
It's that transition period, that moment from moment to moment, from thought to other thought. There's like this space, and the more we're able to be in that space, noticing that we're thinking, aware of differences, aware of our own thoughts, our own emotions, the more mindful you become. So transitioning from one to another gives you that space to learn and experience reality more fully.
Cool. So the important thing is not only to learn to pay attention, but learn to switch our attention uh, and between things that are happening around us. And this switch, if it's guided by us, then it's mindful.
Right. Pay attention to the switching of attention, so to say.
Cool. And that's
Yeah.
it for today, I would say, because our time is up, and I think it's in